So a quick overview of biology for the leaving. Biology is the study of living things, so plants, animals and microorganisms. We will look at how and why they live and grow in certain areas, the impact that organisms can have on each other. We'll study all the way from simple structures like the cell, all the way up through tissues into systems and then to the organism themselves. So different types of animals and plants and the structures within. Complementary subjects to biology would be agricultural science. There's crossover in those two areas, chemistry as well, and home economics. So if one of those subjects is already being chosen, biology could do well nicely and marry together quite well with those. Unit 1 is the study of life, so we will really look at stuff from the junior cycles, such as the scientific method, the characteristics of life, food, and ecology has already been covered, but we go more in depth into that, looking at the interactions between animals and plants, then animals and plants and their environment as well. There is a field study aspect of this where we go out of the school and look at plants and animals in their environment and take notes and do quite a detailed analysis of an ecosystem. Unit 2, we go down microscopically into the cells. So cells of animals and plants, we will have a look at those. Then the processes involved inside these cells. So respiration in every living cell, photosynthesis in the cells of plants, the metabolism of these organisms, so how all the chemistry that happens within plants and animals and organisms to keep them alive. We have to do a structure or a detailed look at plants and animal cells, and then look at cell division, and then going even further, diving even further into the cell on a smaller level, we go and look at the DNA and how traits are given on from one organism to the next generation of organisms. So going through things like heredity, DNA profiling, genetic engineering and evolution. So looking at all those different things and how they can impact the world that we live in at the moment. Unit 3 is the organism as a whole, so we will look at all the different systems within humans and then the kind of similar systems that exist in plants, and then looking at bacteria and fungus and single-celled organisms like the amoeba to see how they do a similar thing. So we have a whole digestive system. We look at the simpler organisms to see how they deal with the breakdown of food and the use of energy and that kind of thing. So it's quite a long part of the syllabus. There are a lot of different organ systems in humans and obviously quite a few in plants as well, so that part is quite long. But also usually the parts about human beings are the parts that students like the best, as we are all human and people are very interested in finding out how we work, and this is a great part of the syllabus for people who are very interested in that. This subject is useful if you wanted to go on and have an interest in nursing or medicine, veterinary, pharmacy, physiotherapy, dentistry. Those type of things would definitely have use a good bit of biology in them, so having a background in biology would be very useful if studying those for third level. People who would maybe choose this subject would be people who already liked biology. So the junior cert science cycle has 4 different parts to it, so people would generally veer towards one or the other during junior cycle. If biology was the thing that you really liked when you were studying for the junior cycle, it would probably be something you like for the leaving cert as well. There is a lot of information, so if you're good at retaining information, this would be a good subject for you. There's a lot of diagrams to be drawn. If you like to draw diagrams, if you're good at remembering diagrams and taking information from them, it's a good subject. There are 22 experiments to go through, so if you like doing experiments, it's definitely something for you. There is a lot of work involved in remembering all this information, so you have to be willing to work all the way through 5th year and 6th year as well. The assessment for biology at the moment is still 100% of the marks are awarded for the exam in June 2025. It will be for them, or 26. Anyway, so there are 3 sections. The first section has short questions. You have to answer 5. Then there are 3 questions on experiments. There are 22 experiments, like I said, so 3 questions will cover anything from any of those 22 experiments that have been done. And then the final section are the longer questions. They don't ever look for essays. It's not an essay subject, but there are very detailed questions asked, so you really have to know fine detail about everything that you have learned over the 2 years. And that is generally what biology is comprised of. Hopefully quite a few of you will pick it. Usually people do, and we generally have a bit of fun in the class.